Welcome to the Story Eyed Podcast. My name is Brendan.
And I'm Jen. On this show, we talk about all things Williams syndrome. We're excited to share our community with you. Thanks for being here.
Brain not working. My brain just not clicking yet. It clearly does not really start to click in until 10 my time.
Yeah.
Oof. Anywho, that was fun though.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, like we said, Shannon and Melody, me and Bennett, Jen and Stella, and a few others, we were all down at camp together for the last year of kids camp. So where we were with the kids every day. And then we all got to stay one more day so that we could see what the teen camp is like. But it meant that we all could go out and have dinner together. And that was a blast.
So cool.
Yeah. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm hanging in there.
Some family medical stuff has been going on. Nothing with you or mom and nobody like that, but it's family stuff. And how are you guys hanging in there?
We're taking it day by day. It's every day is a new day. It's stressful.
Sure.
Yeah, but we're pulling through. We're all here for each other, and we're just trying to not have full-blown anxiety attacks and, trying to, we only have control of what we have control over, and we wish things were different, but they're not, and that's okay. It's been tough, but we're just trying to,
and hopefully things will stay hopefully things will stay on the upslope.
Yeah, hopefully it's going to be what it's going to be. And
yep. Yeah. Jen is not with us again today. She is in Italy. Follow Jen Keaton on Instagram. She's posting some very fun photos of Italy.
Yeah.
I was hoping that maybe this one was going to be early enough to catch her and the family before they went out for the evening, but clearly they're out enjoying themselves. It's just Brendan and I. And it's Brendan and I and our friend Shannon Bohmann, who is a travel planner. And yeah, I love it. Her family, she posts all these great stories and does all these trips. Obviously, it's her career. But she and her family, the family, have decided to spend all of August in Orlando. And so with her daughter Melody, who's 15, her two boys who are younger, and just to see how that happens. And it's been so much fun to watch. I've just been really amused by it. It's been really fun. And since I've known Shannon for a while, I like her immensely. And I thought this would be fun to talk about and see in a 10-day check-in to see how maybe we'll have to do a follow-up at the end, and maybe we'll have to have her on in September again and do a what did we learn? What did we learn segment? Yeah, so that's that. Yeah, but Shannon's really great. I'm not a Disney adult, but I just appreciate Disney's attention to detail.
Yeah, I can respect that.
Yeah. And so, it makes that experience like, I would like to go to Universal, the new Universal park, because they're lean, I think they're trying to create that whole immersive experience as well.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe that will be a little bit closer, but the Disney experience is it's hard to beat.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, who knows? I don't know when the next time I'll get down to Disney is. We keep talking about, we had that Adventure Seekers trip a couple years ago.
Yeah. Where
we all stayed in Disney Springs. I have a feeling we'll do that again at some point, just because it did feel really slick, because it's like it's on the Disney campus. You can get to things really quick, but also it's easy to get other places if you wanted to do other attractions around Orlando.
Yeah.
I have a feeling something like that'll happen again at some point, but we'll see.
We shall see.
All right, everybody, enjoy Shannon Bohmann. I know we sure enjoyed our chat with her, and we'll see you again next time. I don't know, probably Keaton won't be there for this one either, but that's okay. We promise she'll be back. You're not going to get stuck with me. The combo of Lemieux and Keaton will be back.
I'll be back.
Yeah. So, all right, enjoy.
Hi, I am Morgan Jane Starkman. I am the daughter of Greg and Joanne Starkman from Inner Sense Organic Beauty.
What's great about it is I use it on my hair all the time, and I'm the inspiration behind it, and I love using it all the time when I'm at work or I take a shower. I do the hair bath conditioner, all of that stuff, and it's good for all hair types. No bad fragrances, no bad ingredients. WSA 15.
When you
check out, yep.
All right. Well, hi, Shannon. How are you?
Hi, how you doing?
Good. So for those who might not know who you are, why don't you take a second to introduce yourself and tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm Shannon. I'm a mom to Melody, who is my 15-year-old with Williams syndrome. And we've got two other kids, two boys, Aaron and Wes. They are 12 and 8. And my husband and I our whole family, we live in southeastern Wisconsin, but we are spending all of August in Orlando, Florida.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, which I love. It following you on social media has been a lot of fun as you've grown your business. And I don't know why this tickled me so much. The idea that you and the whole family were gonna take August to see what it's like, the difference between living down there and traveling down there. What precipitated that?
It tickled you because it's kind of crazy.
A little bit. A little bit.
Just a smidge.
Just a smidge. It certainly helps that we've been to Orlando many times as a family, so we're not coming into this as newbies, but there are a lot of reasons why we wanted to try this. The first was calendar-based. We looked at August and we're like, our daughter doesn't have anything for school, our boys don't have anything for school, we don't have any big work events going on. I'm like, what should we do for August so the kids aren't saying bored every day? What could we do that would be really good for our family? And over the years, as we've travel has always been really important to our family. We did get to a certain point where traveling with the three kids together became very difficult. And I've talked to a lot of families about that kind of in our community too. Our daughter's needs and interests were really starting to vary from our boys. And the boys sometimes got the shaft because we had to cater a little bit more to what was going to work for our daughter Melody. And so this experiment, our family experiment for this month, is bringing back the family together to do just rip the Band-Aid off and spend this full month on vacation as fake locals, doing what the three of the kids actually do love together, which is the Disney World area. So that is what sparked this idea.
Yeah. 10-ish days in, what observations have you made, or anything that is jumping out at you in this like in the settling period here? So it's like the newness that maybe is starting to wear off.
Yeah, I think one thing that has surprised me is how much we've been going to the parks. I knew we would go a lot. We are annual pass holders, so obviously that's different than somebody that has a set amount of tickets. But I thought that everyone would get a little bit burned out by now. It's August, very hot, very humid, raining at some point every day. And I thought that the kids would get pretty exhausted. And so surprisingly, Melody's been the one that wants to go every single day. So that's been a little surprising. Also, when we come down here on vacation, we typically get her a wheelchair because her stamina wears out pretty fast.
Yeah.
And we did tell her ahead of this trip that this wasn't going to be a wheelchair every day sort of thing. I guess that's another great reason for this trip. We wanted to work on her physical abilities, her stamina. So we said, no, we'll go take you to the park, but no wheelchair. And she's been good with that. She hasn't asked for it. She understood going was going to be the rule this time. And she's wanted to go every day. So that's been a little surprising. Another thing that is, it shouldn't be surprising, but as parents, you go on a trip like this and you have to know it's just like home, but it's just a different view. You're still cooking and cleaning and shopping and making the beds and doing the laundry and doing the discipline. It's all the same things, but Disney World's down the street. So
Yeah.
that does make it more fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you feel like Melody's been like, because there isn't the pressure of, okay, this is a vacation day, we got to try to get everything done that we want to do in this day, maybe like the pressure's off a little bit because it's okay if we're tired, if reached our limit, we can just pop back home.
Yes. Yeah, I do think some of that pressure is off. As long as I help her understand we can come back tomorrow. And I keep saying that we can come back tomorrow. Let's see how we're feeling tomorrow. So as long as she knows that there's another opportunity, then she's pretty good with leaving. One of the things that has encouraged her to kind of cut the day somewhat short is when those afternoon storms come in.
Yeah.
She knows it's coming. She's got a little weather app on her phone so she can kind of see, okay, it's coming soon. And that helps her transition from being in the parks to coming back to the house, taking a rest, and knowing that she can do that same thing tomorrow.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yep. Bennett's the same way. Bennett has his weather app. It's like, it's tracking it, Dad. It's tracking it. And I figured we should probably get going soon.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Going. That's awesome. So Jen Keaton, not full disclosure, like we're hiding it, but Shannon and Jen and I first met you, Shannon, when we were all at camp together. And the Keaton is not with us today because she is also on vacation, having taken the whole family to Italy. So this interview is a little bit of therapy for Brendan and I, because we're very jealous and they didn't bring us along.
Jelly.
Yeah. I know all of our kids are different and all individuals with Williams syndrome are different. I would love to hear from, like, Brendan, when you're traveling, are there any like specific things that you need to make sure that you do or that you have to make sure that you're in the right headspace or that you feel right going and traveling? And I would love to hear Shannon too, like, how did you have to approach that, not just with Melody but with your boys too?
A nap is always nice. Just like a rest period for an hour, because my feet get tired easily sometimes too if I walk for too long. And if I don't get a nap in, then like Mr. Grumpy Pants.
Yeah.
A nap is nice. Obviously, being conscious of like the weather, dressing accordingly, what to bring, what not to bring, all those kinds of things. But I'm an easy traveler. I'll go anywhere as long as it's cool and there's fun things to do. Yep. Oh, and headphones, music. Music is always important. Yep. Gotta have music for travel. Yeah.
Yeah.
All those kinds of things.
Very cool. What sort of things, at least in your family, ensure a successful day out, Shannon?
If Brenda just brought it up, music, headphones and music is key. Yeah, what we have found that really works well on this trip is Melody's started carrying a small purse, and in there she'll have her music with a couple different headphone options, one that's noise canceling, one that's just her music, so she can switch it out. But yeah, music is absolutely key for this trip, for certainly any airplane, walking around busy areas like airports. Having music is really comforting for Melody, for sure. It sounds like for Brendan too. So that is really important. And actually, one of the things we've tested out in the last couple days is Melody using a phone. So she doesn't have a typical phone, but she has one where she can communicate with just me and my husband. And so she knows she needs that with her to be comfortable. And then she can kind of do a couple little things independently when we're out. And we can kind of give her that opportunity to learn from that and then learn how to communicate with us through voice text over her phone. So that's been great. So I can see how having a phone and the right apps for a kid like my daughter is really beneficial to teaching some life skills and independence on vacation.
I also think hydration, staying hydrated, making sure that you're drinking enough so that you don't get burnt out, and also like consciously making healthy choices about eating so that I don't get a stomach ache and have to take a day out to be like, why did I do that to myself?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a really good point. We've definitely been working on that with Melody and the boys because the Melody is not quite as aware of her needs as you are, Brennan. And I can see the signs that she needs a nap or she needs a rest. She needs hydration. Every time we go into a place to get a snack, she'll say, is this healthy or will this give me energy? Is this good for my braces? And so she's definitely thinking in that mindset of, how can I keep my energy up and not get a stomach ache?
Yeah.
That's really savvy. Yeah, because I'm one who tends to I'm on vacation, woo, and then pay the consequences later. Yeah.
Mhm.
So you shared on one of your stories about, and you referenced it earlier, traveling with the kids and how difficult it had become traveling with all three of the kids together, and how for a time the trips were like it's going to be just the boys or just Mel. Can you share a little bit about that? Was that your I think about it. I only have Bennett, so I don't juggle other children like a lot of our families do. But was that a hard realization? Was that difficult to, okay, we have to do something different here because this is just not, it's making it not fun.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a sad realization that we can't pretend to be a family that we're not, and we need to do something for our sanity and for the kids' sanity. So it was a little sad, but it was also exciting because it allowed us the opportunity to do trips that are focused on our boys and do trips separately that are focused on Melody. So we didn't feel that pressure to always try, how can we cater to both? Or what would happen a lot is, where can we split up? Because that's what happened in those previous trips. I would go off with Melody and do what she wanted to do, and my husband Jeff would go off with the boys and do what they wanted to do. And so it started to feel like separate vacations. So yeah, taking separate trips allowed us to just fully enjoy that kid. Or we even did separate trips with our older boy versus our younger boy. And it gave us as parents that one-on-one time that is super precious. And we could work on different things with the boys versus with Melody, different expectations, different social stories, different rules. So in a way, maybe it was good, but we always had it in our mind that we want to get back to a family unit doing these trips together, making these memories and building a stronger bond with Melody and the boys, because that's going to be her support system decades down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the boys are a little bit older now. How are you seeing, obviously they're still all kids and everything, and they're going to fight and bicker, but are you seeing maybe a little bit more, okay, I'm understanding my sister a little bit more?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm seeing I've been talking about this a lot recently because with our 12-year-old, who's our middle kid, we're seeing a lot of change in the last few months, a different level of understanding. I think both boys have been lucky enough to have other kids with special needs in their classrooms over the years, so they had somewhat of an understanding. But more recently, my 12-year-old, Aaron, has been helping out more, has been taking Melody aside when maybe I can't handle it at the moment. So he kind of steps in. This actually just happened yesterday at the park. He wanted to go to a park and Melody did as well. So I took the two of them. And there was a moment where Melody was feeling a little stressed with kind of an anticipatory anxiety of wanting to make sure she met this particular character. And then we had to make a decision on the timing of the storms coming in. Are we going to do this or are we going to do this? And I had to go to the bathroom. So I asked Aaron, I said, can you just hang out with Melody? And I could see him explaining, he was working through a social story with her. And it was very cool. And I'm seeing a lot more of that. And that's exactly what I was hoping to get out of this trip too. Yeah, those moments.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's really sweet. I'm gonna think about that. So let's real quick also take a little bit of a turn into Disney because Sarah, executive director, just was on a Disney cruise and she said it's ruined her for all other cruise lines. So I guess my question is, Disney just knows how to cover they're really good at the unknown unknown. And it's like they think of it and they address it and it makes it magical. So I guess what makes Disney cruises so great? Are they more, I've always heard that they're just so much more expensive than other cruise lines. Is that really the case? And I guess finally, how long will it take you to put together a whole Williams syndrome Disney cruise for all of us?
Ooh, yeah.
We're gonna do convention on the high seas.
Convention on the high seas. That sounds fun. Yeah, I'm definitely a fan of Disney Cruise Line. In fact, on Sarah's first Disney cruise is where I ran into her.
Oh, that's right.
I didn't know it was her first cruise. Her and I were in line for the water slide. I said, oh. So yeah, I know she had a great time on this one too. Yeah, Disney Cruise Line is a similar level of experience to the parks, but a lot more relaxed. You don't have the crowds, you don't have the chaos, you don't have quite the lines because you don't have all the different attractions. And it is nearly all inclusive, as most cruise lines are. The difference with Disney, and yes, it generally is higher cost than most cruise lines. Not always, but it is generally a little bit higher. You do have more included when you're comparing it to other cruise lines. Just a small thing, but important for my boys is that Disney Cruise Line includes soda. So my boys drink a lot of soda. So there are some things. One thing I think is actually really cool that Disney does is, not to focus on soda, but the soda machine has buttons that are very low to the ground or lower to the ground for people that are in wheelchairs. So like you said, they think of all the things and they make it work. And it's no surprise, almost every Disney cruise we've been on, we've run into other families that have somebody with Williams syndrome or other disabilities too. I think their kids clubs are the best at sea, and that's huge. They handle disabilities very well. And they also, when compared to some other cruise lines, they control the environment a little better. They bring it down just a little bit, whereas some cruise lines, the kids clubs can feel a lot more chaotic, a little bit more out of control. So I think Disney does a really great job with that. So those are a couple reasons why they are a little bit higher priced, but I think worth it. The staff are incredible. Bar none, they're the best staff at sea, and their entertainment is best entertainment at sea. That goes into the cost.
Yeah.
And what was the second part of your question?
Boy, I don't even know anymore. Yeah, I think it was something to do with what makes them. We're not sponsored. I should also note we're not sponsored by Disney Cruise Lines unless they want to reach out to us. I'm just saying, Brendan and I could get on a plane pretty quickly and get down there. But yeah, no, Disney is, there's just something about it's the whole immersive experience. I suppose also on a cruise line, like you said, the crowds aren't there because you're dealing with a finite amount of people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's that plus as well. Yeah.
I think I can add something about it. Disney Cruise Line may not work for everybody. I do think you have to have a general appreciation of Disney culture, Disney stories.
Yeah.
But I know there's a lot of kids in our community that love nothing more than hugging a big fuzzy character. And that is
that's where I get most of my hugs. Is that you look like a cartoon character, big fuzzy character, and they hug me.
Exactly.
I say, okay, I'll take it.
Sure, why not? That's such a huge draw for Melody. The characters are her favorite part of the parks and the cruise lines. And so the difference, you don't have the rides on the cruises, obviously, but you have characters all over the place all week long. And she really likes that you have the same person as Rapunzel, let's say, for the whole trip. So throughout the trip, she's recognizing Melody. she's saying, "Oh, Melody, have you seen Pascal around? We got to go find him." So they have this opportunity to develop a relationship with the guests on board because they're seeing them throughout the whole trip. So she feels that for sure.
That again, that's not something I would have thought of, but yeah, that would be huge. Can you imagine you're walking along and suddenly a Disney character is like, Brandon, what's up? Oh, that I would as an adult, I would get jazzed by that. That's so cool.
Totally.
So as let's come back to Florida. Let's come back to the Airbnb experience. I guess not first of all, is this any sort of anticipatory experience? Are you guys planning a move anytime soon, or are you staying up with us in the upper Midwest?
Oh, Lord. I think it's probably been in the back of my head since I was 4 years old, maybe. Maybe I wanted to live by Disney World. We certainly grew up coming here. There are 100 reasons. Literally, my husband and I did come up with an Excel sheet and ranking these things, all the different good and bad that could come out of this. And that was one of the things. What could be good about living there? What could be bad about living there? What would we miss about Wisconsin? What would we gain from being here? I think it's a possibility, but again, it's one of the 100 reasons that we're doing this.
Yeah. It's not like okay, we'll be back we're going to move down here in a couple months. It's not.
No,
it's
no.
Not. It's
if anything, it's did we survive? Did we improve our family's relationship? And do we want to do this again, maybe next August? So I think that would be the first step with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. Your youngest he's 8 or is he 10? 8. Yeah. He needs maybe him being a little, as he gets a little older too, that will play into it as well.
Yeah. Think about how many more years that they're even going to want to do this with us.
True.
Aaron's 12. Aaron's 12, and I imagine when he's 15, 16, 17, he'll have a job, or maybe he just doesn't think I'm cool anymore. So I'm going to take advantage of it while they still want to come.
Yeah, we go every year with my wife's family. We go up to the North Shore of Lake Superior. And and Bennett is cool with it. He loves it. He wants to do it forever. But my nephew, who's also the same age, we all look at each other, my wife and my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, we all look at each other going, okay, how many more of these do you think we're gonna get? And do we try to reverse psychology them and be indifferent about it? No, you don't have to. It's fine. Or do I need to try to step up and try to be more like the cool uncle to try to entice the kids to come up? Do I need to corrupt them? What do we need to do so that we can continue to do this and have the kids come up and want to spend time with us?
Exactly.
Yeah. This was not supposed to happen, Shannon. Our kids were not supposed to get older like this.
No, they're not.
Yep. So as we wrap up here, like I said, you're still in the beginning parts of this. Is there anything that you have observed so far, or that you're still looking to see what might happen in this experience down there?
Yeah, I think, there are a few things. We have a list of things we would like to do. I'm a little worried. This is play a small violin for me. I'm a little worried we're going to end up spending every day of 4 weeks in Disney parks. I'm not mad at that,
sure.
But there were other things, and we are hoping to do. We'd like to explore some of the great neighborhoods around here, Windermere, Winter Garden, Celebration, and just kind of see what they offer. I know there's a lot of great family neighborhoods, so we want to explore that. My husband would like to take our boys out to the Kennedy Space Center. We've been there a number of times. Yeah, right?
That's the vibe. That's cool.
Yeah, for sure. You've been, Brendan?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is very cool. It's not up Melody's alley, but it would be a great day trip for the boys with my husband over the years, because I've had the immense flexibility with my career as a travel advisor to take Melody on trips a lot, but my husband hasn't been able to do that a lot. So I'm hoping for some more one-on-one time with him and her, going to the parks and enjoying that together too, since he's working remote from this Airbnb as well. So those are a couple of the things that we're hoping for. We also did get a house with an extra bedroom just in case some friends or family want to pop down for a few days. So hey, the invitation's there.
Oh, don't tempt me. Don't talk to wife. Okay. Take that.
Yeah.
This is what you get for missing this episode.
One free room, going once, going twice. Yeah,
We're
so
down.
those are a few of the things we're hoping to do. If we're not really a beach family, but if we get to the beach on either coast, it's about 2 hours in one direction, about an hour in the other direction or so. That would be great too. I am really hoping to do this as a thing each summer for years to come. So I'm not going to put too much pressure on doing everything. If we only go to Disney, okay with that. That's the stage our family's at right now.
Sure.
Yeah.
I guess also this just popped in my head. The Airbnb or choosing the home for the month. Were there specific sort of things that the house needed to have and that you look for, or anything that has surprised you about, oh, we should have really asked or looked for something like this, or how has the house aspect worked out?
Great question. You would not believe the stress picking the place caused. And this is our own fault, but we when buying a home, we made a list of must have, should have, or I'm getting the words right, or wrong, but what it needs to have, what it would be great, and what's not quite as important. And there's thousands of them down here. It's crazy. Yeah. And so there were certain things we were keeping in mind. We definitely wanted a pool. We wanted to have enough activity in the house so that when my husband and I are working during the days, that the kids can stay busy. So one of the common things around here is people convert their garages into game rooms. And so we wanted to make sure they had that. Also, since it's August, we wanted to find one that had an air conditioner unit in the garage to make it just a little bit more comfortable in there. So that was a requirement. And big formality was having her own bedroom, the TV with a smart TV, and on sort of the opposite side of the house from her brothers. So and really, this is just like at home. We tried to look for a place that sets up that success we have at home so that she's got her own space to go to when she needs to be away from everybody and just have her quiet time. So that was huge. And sometimes when you're shopping for Airbnbs, you don't always get the floor plan, but you can almost always message the property manager and they have access to that so you can see which room is where. The other thing that was incredibly important that our community will understand is a room for Melody that didn't have a lot of stuff in it. Yeah. So we didn't want decals on the wall because she will peel those off. And we didn't want tapestries or fun decorations hanging that have a lot of strings on them because she rips. She's a ripper and she pulls strings and she cuts things. So it had to be a very simple, relaxing, just classic room with a nice big bed and a TV. So that eliminates a lot of them in the Disney area because sometimes they go overboard.
Oh, yeah.
Decorating the rooms. As you can see, this is one of the rooms. Very simple, flex. That was the requirement too.
I have twice now for the times that we have done the weekend for Williams. I was tasked with finding our Airbnb that Sarah and I, and this year we added John and Laura and Paula to everything. The amount of stress picking an Airbnb, I for like doing it for 2 nights gave me so much stress. I can't imagine. Okay, we're going to commit to this thing for a month. I would be paralyzed with fear. That was,
That can be a real pain in the butt to try and find exactly what you want. I use Airbnb a lot and VRBO with my dad when we go on our trips. So it's a task.
Yeah,
it sure is. Yeah, you're right.
Shannon, thanks so much for taking some time out of your morning before you head on up to the park.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. Have a Dole Whip and think of me.
Will do.
Yep. Any last thoughts that you want to share out to the community, whether it's about travel or whatever?
I'd love for people to follow along on this craziness.
Yes,
Certainly.
It's
On Instagram, I'm trying to post the good and the bad, the ugly, the fun, all the things that we're experiencing this month. So in hopes that other families like ours can get some ideas and some tips to improve their trips too. I'm always available to help with vacations. I do work with a lot of families with Williams in our community. But I do think, and I did say this in a story the other day, I had a little heart-to-heart over some coffee. Our vacations are never perfect. They're always challenging, but when we get home and we reflect, we always realize how worth it was. Even the little things like making months later, Melody bringing up some very small thing like, hey, wasn't it fun when we had pizza at the pool at that house? You're like, wow, that's great.
Yeah.
That is great. So it's challenging, but it's worth it to make those memories and grow through travel.
So if you're not following her, get on that. It's shannons.great.adventures on Instagram. And I don't know if it's still there. I can't remember what day it was, but you'll also get to see Melody riding a roller coaster. And it was
oh my Lord.
the best.
Yeah.
It was me before ride. Which coaster was it again?
It was
Everest.
Expedition
It was Everest.
Everest.
Yeah, it was like, this is Melody, this is me before Everest, and then the whole ride, and then this is me after Everest. Oh God, it was
Wild. It was wild. And seeing her push herself and do something that requires being brave, that is my favorite thing about vacation with my kids, is seeing them jump outside their comfort zone.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Shannon, thank you so much. It's so great to see you. I wish you the best for the rest of the month and beyond. I wish you luck. No, it ends at August.
I'm there.
Only things good in August, and then that's it. No, I appreciate it's been great. I have absolutely loved watching this craziness, and it just, I love it.
Thank you guys.
It was really good meeting you and seeing you, Shannon. And enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks. You too, guys. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the Starry-Eyed Podcast, presented by the Williams Syndrome Association and sponsored by Inner Sense Organic Beauty. The show is hosted by Jennifer Keaton and Brendan Lemieux and produced by me, Joel Listman. All music by Tommy Barbarella and Mariella Elm. Got a question for the show? Email us at podcast@williams-syndrome.org. Video version of the podcast available on the Williams Syndrome Association channel on YouTube and on the Starry-Eyed Podcast page on Facebook. Audio version available wherever you get your podcast delights. So like and subscribe and help spread some Williams Syndrome awareness.